Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm putting together an artificial holiday bouquet. I'm using these items that I got from Hobby Lobby, which consists of Christmas picks, and then I've got some red roses and some of this great holiday ribbon. I'm just making a couple of loops and some shorter tails. I do about 3 bundles of these little ribbon loopy-doos here. I'll just tie it off with a thin floral wire. I do have some gold as well, and those tails I left a little bit longer. I'm going to use them along the collar of the bouquet, and it'll be kind of nice to have some floating tails to give some movement to the bouquet. So the picks that I have, I was very excited to use because they have a variety of different evergreens in them. It also has some magnolia leaves, some artificial branches, and some pine cones. So those are kind of my focus in putting together this bouquet. And then I have this beautiful frosted berries that I'm going to chop down into bite-sized stems. I want kind of more of a tighter cluster on one stem and then just a few shorter trails. They're just super, super long on this stem that I got here. So I started off with my pine, and this bouquet would be absolutely beautiful in fresh flowers. So if you want a aromatic bouquet, this would be awesome. And you can use the same principles that I'm using here with the artificial. You can make bundles and then put them together. So just grab a couple of different pines. They do have magnolia leaves available during the winter time, and just put a few bundles together, and then you can put those bundles into the bouquet. It just makes arranging a little easier too. And then of course you could have fresh roses, ribbons, and then I would probably still use the artificial frosted berries, just because they're so beautiful with that kind of crystallize on them. Almost looks like sugar, and they have a great trail going outward. Or what would be beautiful in real flowers is pepperberry. That's around during the winter times, and I'll see if I can do a cut in of what that looks like. So I'll do some editing as soon as I get done here. But what I'm doing with the ribbon is I didn't want to have a filler like baby's breath or caspia or anything like that. So I'm using my black ribbon as a filler. I'm just trying to give that drama of it spilling out of the center. And I'm going to do more of a crescent shape for this bouquet. So it's going to shoot out on either side, left and right, or cascade out either side, left and right, however you want to say it. So, but I love that shape that the natural greens and stems make, just kind of gathered in the middle and then just free form shooting out either side. So as long as you bring the colors all the way through either side, your bouquet should balance. And since I'm only using red roses, and the only other outstanding color would be the red berries, it's pretty safe to just kind of disperse them evenly throughout the bouquet. Maybe make it a little tighter in the center and then spill out a little bit further, like space out from each other as they get away from the center. And put a little bit more distance between the blossoms too. But I do just kind of tie it off as I go along, only because those picks are round and the stems of the roses were so thin. So I did use the wax floral tape to just kind of pin everything together as I went along so it wouldn't spin so much in my hand. When I get done, I'll tie it off with a chenille stem, and then I would use the wax floral tape from top to bottom, make it nice and tight. I would measure about 2 of my hands down and then trim off all the stems, and I would wrap it with the gold ribbon or whatever ribbon you use on the collar of the bouquet. So you could also just use the magnolia leaves too around the base to kind of hide your mechanics if you wanted to. And also, if you didn't want the ribbon in the center there, it would be really pretty with some seeded eucalyptus. It has kind of that nice lighter green color in the smaller little seed forms, and sometimes you can get them with a bit of a blush on the seeds themselves to kind of tie in the red to the green too. That would be very pretty, especially in fresh flowers as well. But as you can see here, how nice it is to have just that little bit of ribbon hanging down. You've got the movement from the berries on either side, and then you'd have the ribbon flowing as you walk down the aisle or walking into your event. It just makes a really nice kind of show as you go along. So here I am tying it off with a chenille stem, and all the tools that I use will be in the descriptions if you needed some wax floral tape or chenille stems. But do a little bit of fluffing and you're all set. So here's a winter bouquet. It's a cascading style. This would be beautiful in fresh flowers though too. Thank you so much for watching.